Welcome to the Big Biz Show. Taking care of business. You want fast-talking, hard-hitting discussions on business and finance? Maybe with a barroom slant and some really salty peanuts? We're not counting calories. We're counting cash. Before we get to the man with the financial plan, meet the money team. Costa, Mary, now Captain Finance himself, Sully.
Wherever you're watching, wherever you're listening, we welcome you to the Big Biz Show. We're live inside the Loft 100 studios here in sunny Southern California. It is another edition of None Ya Business. It's what we call it when Sully, unfortunately, is not here. And the beautiful Mary Bird Godwin and myself have control of the con, to use military terms. And we pretty much do what we want. What we want to do right here is say hello to the Day Trader Trio, always with us. They never miss a show. Hey. That's okay.
Good morning.
And morning. Good to see you guys.
Wait, what is it? Best in the business, self-taught, no lessons.
Best in the biz, no lessons, self-taught. Before we bring in, you just heard Howie Font, our Big Biz Show market analyst. You just heard his theme before he comes on. But James, I believe we have a very special birthday. Is it actually today?
Yes.
It's today. A big old birthday to you.
A big old happy birthday
Whose birthday is it?
Miles.
Oh, Miles. Look at him. Look at him. Oh, my God. Oh, 14 years old. What a day. That
Still
is
growing
awesome.
tall.
What,
He is tall.
How old is the offspring today?
He's old now.
Is he?
28, yeah.
Miles is 28 years old?
Whoa.
Okay, all honesty, I thought he was like 21 or 22.
Yeah,
Dude,
me too.
those East genes, man. Those East genes, I'm telling you. Miles, happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
One of the pivotal members of the Big Biz Show for us behind the scenes.
Don't you have some Funyun flavored almond milk for him?
I wish I did. I wish I'll give him a shot of it as soon as we're done with the show. Now we can bring in our Big Biz Show market analyst, Mr. Howie Font.
Howie.
And for him, we like to say a big old Howie.
Howie to ya.
To ya. Howie, you're back there in New York City, living the good life in the Big Apple, even though it's about 10 degrees.
Do you need to borrow my sweater?
Yeah.
I space heaters right here. I need Mary's sweater if you could send anything.
Right.
Let's do a PO box for just, to start a fund to keep me warm. It's really
that Arctic chill that you're experiencing coming down from Canada the last several weeks is having an effect on U.S. natural gas prices.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's an act of war, personally. It's really bad. So what happened is, and I promise there'll be a financial aspect to this, but, obviously the poles are really cold, and so you have this big mass of air up at the North Pole in the Arctic Ocean and in Canada, such as it is. And you had a warmer than normal, I don't know why this is, summer in Australia, and you had air on the other side of the globe come up, and obviously that causes some shifting. So you have a huge, unusually large mass of cold air coming down like an invasion of some sort through Canada into the Midwest, the Northeast, and kind of the north half of the East Coast in the United States. And that massive cold air could lower temperatures by 25 degrees Fahrenheit.
Wow.
From where they normally are in some places. So huge cold snap. Now, it's not going to last that long, but people are definitely going to be using their heaters, and that's kind of why we're talking about this today.
We were in the coastal area of South Carolina over the holiday break, and there was a couple days where we had temperatures that did not get above 40 degrees, to the point where the pool in our house, out back of our house, would not heat up because it was so cold. We just shut the heater off. It wasn't doing the job. So, Miami, I think, just had a 40-degree day.
Yeah, it was in Orlando.
It was Orlando.
Mary was telling us. So warm.
Right.
It's freezing.
It's sunny and 19 for me right now. So.
But when something like this happens, a cold snap, and people are just firing off that heater and it's running 24/7, is that enough consumption to shift the gas market as far as the price of natural gas, or is it just kind of it's one of those things that we know is coming and we deal with it?
Yeah, so we just talked about, and we are talking about the real world event that happened, but if I could just financialize it, because that's what's fun for me and puts everyone to sleep, is, obviously, yes, you see it's going to be colder, so it makes sense that people would need a little bit more heat. They need a little bit more heat. That means they need to pay for gas. Supply and demand, gas prices go up. But it's a little more complicated than that because everything in life is.
Of course.
And, first you have to ask, okay, who's usually buying this natural gas? The heating companies or utilities, they have to buy this from the pipelines, from the producers of natural gas. And you don't want to be exposed, if you're that company, to just these huge influxes in price.
Right.
I don't want to pay $1 for one day and then $5 the next. I can't run a business that way. So what they do is they do futures contracts. Farmers do this. Anyone who kind of produces, agriculture and meat, they do this too. And they basically say, well, I'll give you a slightly better price, but it's locked in and it lasts for this long.
Okay.
And you sell pieces of paper and say, I'm selling natural gas to you at this price, not going to change it no matter what. Whoever holds this contract gets to buy it at that price. And so the utility companies and lots of other bulk buyers will buy at those locked in prices. And they'll pay a little bit more, but it'll be worth it for them to get rid of the volatility, the up and down in the price. Now, the up and down in price didn't go away. It just shifted to the price people pay for those pieces of paper. And those are called futures contracts. So what happened was you had a bunch of people buy these contracts. And so when a natural event happens, you get the normal jump in the price.
Yeah.
And then you have a bunch of people that are now losing money on their contracts and they're trying to get out of them. So we're in a situation where gas prices today jumped from their lows to their highs about 30%, 28%.
Is natural gas?
That's a huge jump.
Is natural gas considered a commodity like orange, concentrated orange juice, things like that?
Yep, that's right. Yeah, and you have and all those commodities have these futures markets.
Okay.
And then people borrow money, and if you do that, then you really see this volatility. It's happening in Bitcoin, incidentally, a lot now. If you borrow money to buy these futures contracts, which are effectively options, you're going to see big spikes when you see a fundamental move like this.
So quickly before we get out of here, and in layman's terms for me, how is this going to affect my bill and my monthly payment?
You're fantastic.
Like around the country, too.
Yeah. Oh, well, around the country is one thing, but you personally, Mary, did amazing. San Diego's warm. I miss it. Please invite me back. I'm happy to go on the show tomorrow. Around the country, we're going to see, utility bills
Problems.
go up. I mean, this is definitely going to happen. I think the 30% move is short term. But no, this month's heating is going to cost more for everybody. And you'll see that in inflation, too.
Oh, great.
Howie Font, Big Biz Show, market analyst.
We love ya.
Even in cold times, he brings warmth to wherever you are. H, appreciate the time, brother. All right, keep it right here. There's much more to come with the Big Biz Show. We'll try... Loft 100 Studios, the Big Biz Show, and our affiliates and our hosts are not registered investment advisors or broker-dealers.
Our show hosts make no commitment that the purchase of securities of companies profiled or otherwise mentioned in our programming
are suitable or advisable for any person, or that an investment in such securities will be profitable in general.
Given the nature of the company's profile and the lack of an active trading market for the securities, investing is highly speculative and carries a certain high degree of risk.
We profile selected publicly traded and privately held companies on our program.
Most of these companies that we profile have provided compensation to Loft 100 Studios and its hosts for the profile coverage.
From time to time, we sell shares of the company's profile profiled in the open market that we receive as compensation for coverage of client companies.
But never sell stocks if we are speaking about interviewing or covering a public company who has paid compensation.
Specific questions on compensation can be obtained by contacting producer at sullyentgroup.com.
Listeners should verify all claims and do their own due diligence before investing in any securities mentioned on this program.
Investing in securities is speculative and carries a high degree of risk.
We encourage our investors to invest carefully and read the investor information available at the websites on the
Securities and Exchange Commission at sec.gov and or the Financial Industry Regulatory Authority, FINRA, at www.finra.org.
I like it.
Hey, is that a rescue plane?
Speaking of beautiful, Day Trader Trio right there on stage, live. Best in the business, Mary. No lessons. Thank you. She knows. Back here at the bar, it is Costa and the beautifully talented Mary Bird Godwin. Sully, not with us today, so this is officially another episode of None Your Business, as we like to say. When the inmates are running the asylum, so great to have the spearhead from Cloudastructure with us, James McCormick, CEO, Greg Smitherman, Chief Financial Officer, and Lauren O'Brien. Cloudastructure Inc. is the company. Their ticker symbol is CSAI. We've been lucky enough to spend some time together the last couple of days. Always great to have you back here at our bar that does not serve alcohol, unfortunately. We've gone over ad nauseum exactly what Cloudastructure does and how you are helping not only businesses, but people, for lack of a better phrase, feel safe.
Yeah.
What did that mean for revenue in growth in 2025?
Yeah, I'd say I'll start. I think there's a few things, Mike. We have a blue chip customer base, right? One of the first verticals that we attacked, we're successful in is multifamily properties, right? We have 6 of the top 10 and 7 of the top 11 multifamily property management companies as customers, right? And with the 6 of the top 10, they have approximately 10,000 properties that they manage. We're in a small percentage of those today. So one of the things that we look at, we call it the land and expand strategy, right? Sounds very World War II-ish, but we have an amazing opportunity, not just with new logos and new customers, but to expand within existing customers that we already have to drive revenue for 2026 and beyond. And, right, what do you think about that? What do you think the revenue potential for that might look like, Lauren?
One of the things that excites me about the land and expand strategy is our customers are coming to us, these very, very large customers, with thousands of locations, and they want to consolidate on one single security platform so that they can have consistency across their security solution set. And so that's super exciting. I mean, as we look at just the logos that we have, if we didn't get any other logos, we could easily make $200 million just in the customers that we have. But we're not stopping there. We see tremendous potential in things like the mobile surveillance trailers, the enclosures, drones, robots, and we can get our brains inside of those solutions and expand. That's where it's an open playing field and we can really win.
Well, yeah, and some of these places, like you were saying, this company might have properties all over the country, right? So to centralize it and to streamline it would be so beneficial for them and cost effective for them.
Absolutely.
Wow, yeah.
Absolutely.
The company is Cloudastructure Incorporated, ticker symbol CSAI. Greg Smitherman, James McCormick, Lauren O'Brien with us here in studio. Greg, what about new technologies influencing future revenue growth? You know, obviously, Cloudastructure is not a one-trick pony. Right. You're always looking ahead and looking way down the road as we've come to know you three in the company. What about those new technologies out there to help further make people safe and grow that revenue?
No, absolutely. We are super excited about technologies coming down the pike, especially on the hardware side, because while you got a lot of super smart people doing great things with, advances in drones or automated solutions and robotics, we don't have to do that. We're the brains inside. We're the brains behind that.
Yeah.
That can integrate all that. So as all these great shiny objects come down the path, we can just patch them into our system, and leverage the AI cloud-based solution that can really network all these things together into one true solution.
I've heard you talk about all the great shiny objects, but is this the right shine? Is this the good shiny object? Is it going to not only drive revenue growth for the company? Is it going to help your client? Is it going to do a bunch of different things? How hard is it sifting through those to make sure we've got the one that we really, really like?
It's tricky. Yeah. You really have to do the diligence because there are a lot of things. There are a lot of shiny objects. There are just some super cool things out there. And then you look at it and go, okay, but what's the application? How am I going to leverage that and make my customer's place safer, better place? And yeah, it might be kind of neat to have that robot walking around, but if it's not doing something demonstrable, something a true value proposition, we toss it to the side and go find the one that will do that.
We've got about a minute left, so 20 seconds from each of you.
Yeah.
What are you looking forward to most, James, in 2026 for you and the company?
Well, not $200 million in revenue like Lauren.
Okay, I'm sure.
Someday we hope to be able to get. I had to say that,
That's okay.
or Greg would have just.
Sure.
I'm looking forward to increasing revenue and continuing to provide excellent customer support and customer service and keep that close to 100%.
Lauren, how about you?
I'm looking at bringing on new team members to help us with the revenue side of things, and we're making some good headway there, so I'm excited to meet some new people.
Hey, Greg, obviously the robot dog, that's your...
Clearly, and scaling the business.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the fun growth part.
Cloudastructure Incorporated, ticker symbol CSAI, James McCormick, Greg Smitherman, Lauren O'Brien. Can't thank you enough for the time you've given us the last couple of days. It's been so great to get that much deeper inside look at you and the company. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks for the opportunity.
All right, we'll be back. BBS continues right after this.
Welcome to Loft 100 Studios, San Diego's Emmy Award-winning production studio, creative hub, and unique private or corporate event space. Host your next corporate or special event in our spacious main room. Utilize a green screen or our 3 million LED lights video wall to create the newest upcoming sales video, or record that podcast or YouTube show that you've been wanting to make happen. Take your creative endeavor to the next level at Loft 100 Studios. Scan the QR code or go to loft100studios.com to book a tour.
In over 175 countries and all the ships at sea, you can hear the Big Biz Show on the American Forces Radio Network. And as always, a shout out to our brave men and women of the United States Armed Forces for what they do, those that have retired, what they have done for us. Every show, they do it for us. That's the Day Trader Trio. You get a free concert, Mary, every single time you sit here.
It's my favorite.
Back here at the bar, it is Costa. It is Mary Burt Godwin, resplendent in her leopard print sweatshirt. She went hunting in Africa over the holiday break and bagged herself a leopard. I can't believe you would do that, Mary.
Also, it's cold in the studio, so I have to wear a sweater every day.
And so people,
don't
don't freak out. She did not hunt a leopard. That's
don't.
Faux leopard. Joining us right now is Matt Fisch, the CEO of AEye. Their ticker symbol is LIDR. Always great to talk with Matt, especially on the heels of what is considered, I think, a noteworthy presence at CES last week. Matt, welcome back to the show. How's your 26 going so far?
Oh, Happy New Year to you guys. Thanks for having me back. And yes, we started off the year with the Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas. It was an incredible show for us. First time back and having a presence there after a couple of years hiatus. Wow, amazing. So many visitors, so many inquiries. It was a great year. Great way to start off the year.
When you're at CES, for someone I've never been there. I've known a lot of companies, a lot of people who've gone themselves. Is it the real conversations, the real movement is taking place in the hallways, in other meeting rooms, maybe at dinners, cocktail parties, et cetera, or is it happen all on the floor?
It's all of the above. That's probably the best way to say it.
Okay.
Sometimes we do use the venue to set up business meetings, but very often they're unexpected visitors in a very, very good way. There's those dinners as well. It's, an action-packed 3 or 4 days. It's exhausting talking with dozens and dozens of people. You just get it done any way you can.
Matt, before we go any further, we have such a ever-growing, expanding television and radio audience. Can you give them the nickel version real fast of what you're doing at AEye?
So in summary, what we do is we bring vision or sight to machines. And the most common one I can think of is ChatGPT. So many people use ChatGPT today. Imagine if it could see, or imagine if we could bring sight to all of that artificial intelligence out there. That's what we do. And it's about making vehicles, transportation, cities smarter, cars and trucks safer. That's the value of bringing sight to artificial intelligence.
I love it. Matt, can you talk about your announcement with NVIDIA?
Yeah, so one of the things that we talked about at CES this year is we believe we're the first sensor company, or LiDAR company in particular, that has shown a live demonstration on NVIDIA's latest platform called Thor. Thor Drive AGX is NVIDIA's latest platform. We're right on the cutting edge there with them being able to bring that sight to the machine with their cutting edge computing and intelligence capability.
Matt Fisch is the CEO and chairman of AEye. Their ticker symbol is LID as in dog, R. Matt, as quickly as AI is, you mentioned ChatGPT being able to see, and as quickly as AI can just change the game, I'll go to very, very basic terms. A kid in school, having to write a report or something, and throwing the parameters into ChatGPT, boom, there's your 10-page term paper that would have taken you 5 or 6 weeks when we were little kids in school. As far as what you're doing, how much is artificial intelligence accelerating the road you're going down?
Yeah, thanks. That's a great question. It impacts every aspect of our work today. It impacts how I do my job as CEO and chairman of the company, and it allows our engineers to test and evaluate ideas at breakneck pace, so far faster than hiring an army of people. Mm-hmm. It's not taking away jobs, but it's actually enabling our engineers to consider far more solutions than they possibly could have without the assistance of AI. At the end of the day, it gives us a better product and better result for our customers.
As far as AI is concerned and the company, is the meshing coming together or using AI? Is it a simple process for you, or were there some hiccups and some roadblocks?
Yeah, I think the key to success here is being realistic about how quickly you can learn and adapt, and that's been our philosophy. At AI is to smartly crawl, walk, run, so to speak, and understanding what it's good at and what the limitations are. And if you take baby steps and one step at a time, I think it goes pretty smoothly.
Hey, Matt, when you were talking about the automotive industry, I'm thinking of like the way of the Waymo or driverless cars. Is that kind of where you're going, or what kind of technology, or just helping me not back into the guy behind me or the pole at the gas station, which I've done.
Yeah, Matt, help her out, please.
Right. So Waymo, I hope if you guys have taken a ride in a Waymo, that's what's called a robotaxi or what's called a level 4 autonomous driving system. It just kind of goes by itself and takes you where you need to go. That is certainly part of the customer base that we serve. But also, if you look at some of the larger OEMs in the passenger vehicle space, there's a very broad market there that they're working to unlock, which is called hands-off, eyes-off driving. Imagine, you don't need to have your full attention during your extended morning commute. Ford made an announcement related to this at CES and General Motors shortly before the end of the year about this being the next frontier for their passenger vehicle. So yes, it's Waymo, but it's also this notion of hands-off and eyes-off driving that is becoming much more popular with the major passenger vehicle manufacturers.
So you can read your book in traffic, and then it just tells you when the car in front of you is going, and so you have to look up and go.
Mary, please let me know when you're in your car.
I mean, I do that already, but.
Exactly. And that's what AI is about. We want to make that safe to do in the not too distant future.
Matt, I just recently purchased a Tesla, and I got that free month of automated driving where I could just sit there in the seat, plug in where I want to go, and it took me there. I can call the car on my phone and it comes to me, but I have to be, the sensor in the rear view mirror has to see me with my head up and make sure that I'm not nodding off and sleeping or the car stops. Are we past that? Are we going to get to the point where it's going to be the Jetsons?
We're not quite there yet, but when you talk about the technology and the product that AI delivers, that's the path, if you will. So far today, you can do that in very, very limited environments. And with the vision that we're providing with our AI LiDAR sensing and intelligence, you'll be able to do that under more and more circumstances, bad weather, nighttime, a larger number of roads, and eventually not necessarily having to have your eyes staring at the rearview mirror all the time. But that'll be a step-by-step process over the next few years.
Matt, we got about 30 seconds left. What are you looking forward to most in the new year for the company?
Oh my God, I think getting back to CES, the energy was off the charts. The product that we sell seems to be in very high demand. LiDAR is poised to have a breakout year in 2026, and I just can't wait to get out there and work with customers to integrate it. We have a lot of follow-up to do from the show.
Yeah.
And super excited about getting on a plane and getting out there and doing that.
Congratulations on the appearance there. Matt Fisch, CEO. The company name is AEye, ticker symbol LIDR. Mary, we're going to get to the point. Just get in the car and go.
Let's go. I want Matt in studio next time.
Yeah, we need him down here.
Yeah.
Fly down in his Jetson car. All right, keep it right here. There's much more to come with the Big Biz Show.
Loft 100 Studios, the Big Biz Show, and our affiliates and our hosts are not registered investment advisors or broker-dealers.
Our show hosts make no commitment that the purchase of securities of companies profiled or otherwise mentioned in our programming
are suitable or advisable for any person, or that an investment in such securities will be profitable in general.
Given the nature of the company's profile and the lack of an active trading market for the securities, investing is highly speculative and carries a certain high degree of risk.
We profile selected publicly traded and privately held companies on our program.
Most of these companies that we profile have provided compensation to Loft 100 Studios and its hosts for the profile coverage.
From time to time, we sell shares of the companies profiled in the open market that we receive as compensation for coverage of client companies.
But never sell stocks. If we are speaking about interviewing or covering a public company who has paid compensation.
Specific questions on compensation can be obtained by contacting producer@solientgroup.com.
Listeners should verify all claims and do their own due diligence before investing in any securities mentioned on this program.
Investing in securities is speculative and carries a high degree of risk.
We encourage our investors to invest carefully and read the investor information available at the websites on the
Securities and Exchange Commission at sec.gov and or the Financial Industry Regulatory Authority, FINRA, at www.finra.org.
It is the Big Biz Show in over 175 countries. And all the ships at sea, you can hear the Big Biz Show on the American Forces Radio Network. As always, a very big shout out to the brave men and women of the United States Armed Forces. What you have done for us. Day Trader Trio is right there. They do it every single time they're up on stage. And of course, back here at the bar, it is Costa and it is Mary, another edition of None Ya Business, as we like to say when our fearless leader Sully is not with us. She is with us, however, Jennifer Ernst, the co-founder and CEO of Tivic Health, and their ticker symbol is TIVC. And you talk about a person and a company that are a rocket that is just flying high at the moment. It's Jennifer Ernst, and it's Tivic Health, and she's back here on the Big Biz Show. Jennifer, how are you? It's always great to see your face.
Thank you. Good to see you today.
Last year, 2025 was, and I can't say it in broad enough terms, a massive year for you and Tivic Health. Yeah. Talk about the growth that you had in less than a year's time, by the way.
Well, this past year, I completely changed the company out from underneath me. I mean, we transformed this company top to bottom. We started out as a consumer health tech company, and at the end of the year, we are now a fully provisioned biopharma company with a late-stage phase 3 drug, headed right into customer meetings with some really significant customer traction and opportunity behind us.
Jennifer, talk about the drug Entolimod and what that means for not only, and we have talked before about governmental and armed forces applications, but just people in general. When you start thinking in terms of being exposed to radiation and just how scary and detrimental that can be, and cancer patients as well.
Exactly. Well, radiation is the standard of care in oncology, right? I mean, any person who is diagnosed with cancer, there's a high likelihood that they will at some point in treatment be receiving radiation. So Entolimod, the drug that we licensed in this year, was originally developed for acute radiation syndrome. So that's the military countermeasure. That's for the disaster situation.
Right.
That's for the time, if a nuclear power plant leaks or, God forbid, we have an attack on U.S. soil, and certainly for protecting our soldiers. All of the drugs, though, that are approved for acute radiation syndrome are also approved for use in cancer therapeutics. Mm-hmm. Now, one thing we haven't talked about, though, is the science. And I was thinking, if you don't mind me diving in a little bit.
Yeah, I'd love that.
We haven't really touched on it.
Listen, if it's going to make us smarter, I'll listen to a science and a CEO person any day of the week. The floor is yours.
Okay. Well, I have to do this like live Zoom, see if I can get the slides up. That moment when you're trying to do that on your meetings.
No worries.
So I know this is a big eye chart, but what is really cool about when I put this one up to talk, particularly for anybody that's thinking, investment and understanding this, there's 40 plus studies on this molecule.
Wow.
Really, really well characterized pathway. So there's a market today. This is a $9.4 billion market today in this area of GCSF drugs. So these are the drugs that are used if a patient that receives radiation therapy and has their neutrophil levels go down, their white blood cell count goes down.
Yeah.
Just this one piece. Now, the thing with these drugs is that they only treat the blood, they only treat the white blood cells, and they're only for use after radiation. So they can mitigate the damage and help get them back up again. But Entolimod hits that pathway plus a whole bunch more.
Wow.
One of the big ones is this what's called the apoptosis, the anti-apoptotic effect. This basically says prevents cell death. So while our cells have TLR5 on them, cancer cells don't. So we get protection of what we call the host. The person who's receiving the treatment is protected. So the drug has been tested for use after radiation exposure, for use before radiation exposure, and then in addition to treating the blood, because it's protecting all of the fast-growing cells in the body, it protects all of them, it also mitigates the damage to the GI tract and helps restore the GI tract. And in fact, this is what it looks like in pictures, just to get a little color on the screen. This area where you see crypt regeneration, these are the functional areas that actually grow your epithelials, that grow the parts of your GI tract that absorb the nutrients. And this is what gets destroyed in head and neck cancer. 60 to 70% of patients will experience destruction of the GI tract, what is this portion of the GI tract. So the science behind this is profound. I mean, there's an enormous number of studies done. And then from a market standpoint, we've taken the drug this year from basically a dormant product, literally cells that were stored over 10 years on ice, brought the cell lines back to life, demonstrated that we can produce them reliably at scale with very high purity, with potency, with the yields that are necessary for production. Right now, we're stepping into the CGMP process, and in order to facilitate production volume, to make sure we have a supply chain that is absolutely secure on U.S. soil, we acquired a small CDMO that we instantly were able to get lots produced through, scaled up. They're taking us through the next step in the CGMP process, and once we put the first batch of CGMP product, the next step is you take some of that, you put it on biostability testing. Excuse me, you take some of that, put it on biostability testing for a year.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, you're filling out your BLA, your licensing application for the FDA. After that 1 year testing is done, you file the BLA, and that's really where we are. We're going into that first CGMP batch.
Jennifer Ernst is the co-founder and CEO of Tivic Health, TIVC.
Come back because I have so many more questions.
We do. And Jennifer, we're going to hold you over for the next segment, but if you just heard her explain in the last 4 minutes what her company, Tivic Health, Entolimod, their drug, is doing, and you sometimes forget when people, because of cancer, have to use radiation, and then she comes along, Entolimod comes along with Tivic Health, and you're like, oh my God,
incredible.
There is light at the end of the tunnel.
For sure.
More with Jennifer Ernst, Tivic Health, CEO, right after this. Big Biz Show, not Big Bells Show, although I hit double bells. Big Biz Show continues live from the Loft 100 studios. Hope everyone is having a great day. Like we always say, appreciate you being along for this episode. Thanks, as always, to the Day Trader Trio. What do I say about them, Mary?
No lessons, self-taught.
Best in the business. It all rings true back here at the bar. It's Costa and it's Mary Godwin. And we've been talking with Jennifer Ernst, co-founder and CEO of Tivic Health. Their ticker symbol is TIVC. And we started the first segment with her talking about how monumental the growth of Tivic Health has been in less than a year's time in 2025. And I know, Mary, you have a question as well. But Jennifer, as you look down the road now, we're here at 2026. Not that you're going to put the cart before the horse, but I have to assume you have to be extremely excited, cautiously, with where Tivic is going this year.
I am. I mean, it's hard to imagine the work that went into getting to here.
Right.
But we're now positioned for very strongly positioned for this opportunity. In fact, as part of this acquisition we did at the end of the year, we are also bringing in development capabilities. So taking a company that basically hired one person last year in biopharma, then 3 people in biopharma, to now we have a fully featured company of about 50 people, all of whom have the skill set to advance the drug. And what's been great about that for us is, as I look forward first, in less than a week, we are meeting with BARDA, the agency that actually stockpiles and manages the drugs for the U.S., the Strategic National Stockpile. So we are walking in front in 6 days or so.
Wow.
To present all of the science, to present all of the backbone, and to have a discussion about how we move this forward, because they put millions of dollars into the development of Entolimod under the original ownership. Millions of dollars went in. Entolimod had over $140 million invested, of which 36 to 40 million of that came from the U.S. government.
Wow.
So there was a very strong excitement when we brought the drug in, started bringing it back online, started production. It's had a real following in the days before the company that managed it had to close. So we got a great drug. We got a great drug for a low price for the company. We've been able to ramp it up very quickly. And the production facility we bought here in San Antonio has ample production capability for us to be able to service and support the needs of the entire U.S.
Wow, Jennifer. So with the Entolimod, I think what I was hearing, ideally and eventually, it's to be preventative, to get it out, after your meeting with BARDA and after, you prove the effectiveness of it, the efficacy of it, that it could potentially be in the hands of military folks and or radiation patients. cancer patients that are before they even have the radiation to prevent any damage to be done, like you were talking about the esophagus and all the other problems that come along with radiation?
So I won't claim that it'll prevent everything that might happen. Oh, no drug should ever do that. But yes, it is the idea. There's also a second drug that was part of this that we licensed called Entolimod. Again, with the acquisition we made at the end of the year, we're able to accelerate that. Entolimod is designed for chronic use cases where you're going to be using it for, if it were field ready, for example, soldiers in the field. That's the kind of thing you'd want for a readiness or preparedness situation. Entolimod is more for that acute emergency, but when it comes to radiation treatment, a dose, using it for a few doses during the course of therapies, we still have to do the clinical testing, of course, but all of the work done on the acute radiation syndrome area gives a very strong support mechanism for being able to move the drug into cancer. And as I said earlier, there's a $9.5 billion market today with names like Amgen, Sanofi, Novartis behind them. That market is under attack from biosimilars. So as we move this forward, we're not thinking we are going to have to take the entire commercial load to get this thing to market. I mean, I'm anticipating that we will work to get the acute radiation syndrome to market. Those kinds of orders, stockpile orders can be 75 million, 100, 150 million a year for a company. These are serious numbers. And then on top of that, that gives us a war chest to be able to fund everything else. The cancer-related, the oncology-related applications, I could easily see us being able to be in a position to start partnering with a large pharma company to be able to take this forward over the hurdle. Sometime, I won't give too much of a forward looking, but it's not too far of a horizon out there.
Jennifer, I don't know if we've ever asked this before. Is this an injectable drug? Is it an oral application? How would a person take it?
Currently, it's an injectable drug.
Okay.
So it's an intramuscular injection. We are looking at some options to make it into a shelf-stable, something that could be carried with you, whether that, it probably wouldn't be a pill, it would probably be, there's a couple other ways we can do it to get through the mucosal lining. And there's a couple of options for that we're looking at. Those are all new formulations, so that's part of what we're doing with the facility we have here in San Antonio. We can do those new formulations, we can do the tests, and put them through the clinical rigor then.
And Jennifer, you mentioned the production on U.S. soil. I mean, you're talking about San Antonio, and that's a big conversation, is supply chain production being in the U.S. Is that a big plus for you? And can you talk about that a little bit?
It is a big plus, particularly with the type of client base we're talking about. I mean, if we are selling into the national government, into the U.S. government, being not only is it good to be on U.S. soil, but being in Texas is so centrally located. So from here, from San Antonio area, I think it's 5 military bases and 2 major airports. So being able to get drug from San Antonio out to any place in the U.S. in an emergency situation, we're really well located here. So that is a strategic value of the site that we acquired as well.
Jennifer Ernst, co-founder, CEO, Tivic Health, ticker symbol TIVC. Jennifer, we have about a minute or so left, and I want to go back to the upcoming meeting with BARDA, and you talked about how much money the United States has, or the government has put into what you're doing with Tivic Health and things like that. And I know you're never going to look the gift horse in the mouth, but from a layman's perspective, I would think that meeting is going to go very, very well for you when you look at what you've done, how fast you've done it, and what you're going to be able to do to help just, unfortunately, a massive amount of people, especially when it comes to cancer and radiation.
I am hopeful for that meeting. We are very optimistic going into it. It's not the meeting where any decisions are made, but it is a meeting that will be opening this up to a very large scientific community within the defense agencies, both across BARDA, and we are anticipating also having people attending from Department of Defense or Department of War to also be refreshing themselves and learning more about Entolimod. As I said, very well characterized drug and very, very close to the finish line in the relative sense.
Cannot wait to get you back on the show after the meeting and hear how it went. Mary and I both are probably thinking the same thing, that it's going to be gangbusters for you, and deservedly so. Jennifer Ernst, co-founder, CEO, Tivic Health, ticker symbol TIVC. Jennifer, cannot wait to get you back on.